It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tyrone Lowe. This is my show, The Legends. And in the House of the Legends, I have a real true legend. And I bring to you today, Anita Ward. Hey, Anita.
Hi, how are you doing, Tyrone?
Quite well.
Great.
Welcome to my show, The Legends. What I want the viewers to know is if you could take us back as far as you can to when you started singing and, things like that. Bring us up to speed.
Okay. I would like to tell you a story that my late grandmother told about our being on a train. She was taking me to see my father, who was in the service, and mother. And she said I sang the entire way on the train, that the people on the train called me their little mockingbird, is what they ended up calling me. And I would also get things picking up like a brush, as if it was my mic. I was always singing. And I think it's because my mother sang, my father is a singer. So it kind of ran in family as well. But yes, I was always trying to sing. And I got offered a recording contract when I was in high school, singing the St. Louis Blues.
Okay.
There was a company there that was interested in signing me up, but of course my parents said no way. They were not going to let me do that. Mm-hmm. However, when I went to college, at Russ College in Holly Springs, Mississippi, that's where I got my start. I was singing for a play, The Godspell.
Okay.
And, my former manager, who was an administrator at the college, also dibbled and dabbled around in the music business. And so... and actually what he did is he heard me sing. He asked would I like to be a recording artist. Right. I told him yes. And from there, he started taking me in the studio. We were shopping for, material for me to shop through the radio companies, not radio companies. I mean, the actual companies that, would produce as record companies. And so from there, I also was a member of the Russ College Choir, the famous College a cappella choir. And also I was in a female gospel group. And 1 year after I graduated from college, that's when Ring My Bell came out. We actually signed up with Warner Records, which was by Frederick Knight. And that is how we got our start. I was substitute teaching at the time because I wanted to do something since I had graduated. Right. And my former manager, Chuck Holmes, suggested substitute teaching. And I got to do that for 4 months. And it was really something. He gave me a call on a Friday telling me, congratulations, your record has gone gold after only 2 weeks. And I went to do the show with it was I can't believe I can't think of it, the show that I did. But he was the big guy on the show. I can't believe how they just left me. But everybody knew about it. It wasn't Soul Train. It was a Midnight Special. There we go.
I remember that. Yes.
Thank you. The Midnight Special and
the Wolfman. The Wolfman Jack.
Yeah, Wolfman Jack.
Okay.
So actually, it was really sort of funny. I told him, I said, I got to teach class tomorrow. Right. And they couldn't believe that, because they flew in a choreographer and 2 dancers and for the weekend. And on that Tuesday, we were actually in California and we were doing that show.
Okay. Let's take you back to your first recording. What was the name of this first song that you ever recorded?
The first song was actually Make Believe Lovers. I don't think that was the one. It was some about imagination. That song, it was on my album though.
Right.
Album. and but it did not do well.
Mm-hmm.
But Ring My Bell, they played it in Studio 54 in New York. That was the first place to go to try it out, and
Right.
people loved it, and they kept asking for that song. They wanted to hear that song again, and it just was a hit. Yeah.
So Anita, growing up, who influenced you as an artist, to actually give you the energy to actually project yourself, with the craft?
Well, of course, Aretha Franklin, the late
Okay.
Aretha Franklin, my goodness, who can just sing the phone book. She could sing anything.
Yes.
So, but probably her, and of course, the Temptations. My God, the Temptations, and I liked just what's her name, Stephanie Mills. Thought she
Mm-hmm.
was a very good singer. Still is today.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there were several entertainers that I really thought,
You
especially
know,
blues. Yeah.
I want to before we go forward, I want to give a shout out to Carol Salso.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
want to give a shout out to her. Hey,
Of course. Of course.
and
Yeah.
stuff. I'm very much influenced by her as an artist as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, back in the days, the industry was a little bit different
Mm-hmm.
compared to now. So can you collaborate on that, through your experiences?
Through my experience, first of all, the thing that used to be the main thing to do if you were trying to get in the business,
Mm-hmm.
we would actually have to provide the music, put it
Right.
on a reel to reel. Okay. Yes, a reel to reel. And that's what was shopped to record labels
Mm-hmm.
to find out if they were interested in you or not. You probably did 3 or 4 songs. You'd put something up tempo, put something slow, different styles.
Mm-hmm.
Let them, decide if they were interested in you or not. And that's what we used to have to do. But
Right.
now they got all these shows that I love to look at. American Idol used to be my favorite, but now it's not. It's the other one where they turn the chairs around.
Mm-hmm.
I like that a lot. So now it makes it easier for record companies,
Mhm.
actually, to choose someone. Yes.
So looking back on your career, would it be something that you wish that you could have done over again? What would that be?
Um,
Sometimes we have things that we've done in the past, and we thought that somewhere along the line we could have made it better. You ever actually thought about something like that?
well, probably, and this is going to maybe sound a little strange. I love ballads. I
Okay.
love ballads. My goodness. Yes, I do. And at the time, it wasn't a good thing for the songwriter, Frederick Knight, who
Mhm.
wrote Ring My Bell. I really wasn't that crazy about that song.
Mhm.
And I think that's because now I'm inserting foot in mouth, of course, but I wasn't that crazy about that song. I wanted
Mhm.
to do a ballad. And as he informed me, and as I had to learn,
Mhm.
is that you got to put something out, especially if you're a first time,
Mhm.
entertainer,
Right.
that's going to grasp the people's attention.
Mhm.
You got to put something. You put something slow out, it may not do it. So that's what happened, and I had to apologize about. It's not you, Frederick, because he was a singer and entertainer himself.
Right.
Yes, I had wanted to do something that was a ballad, but I guess it just wasn't meant to be.
Well, I noticed that "Ring My Bell" was put on different labels.
Mhm.
And then when I first got it, I got it as a promotional record as far as TK Disco, and
Yes.
that was like the major label for that particular song. So, can you
Mhm.
explain why it was actually put on different other labels? Do you know?
Well, first of all, Frederick Knight, I was on his label,
Okay.
which was called Wana, and that's Juana, Wana Records.
Hmm.
It was an independent label.
Right.
And what happened is that TK Records, Henry Stone was the person that was in charge of TK Records.
Okay.
And what Frederick did is he went there to have them to distribute. It takes money. You got to do more than just do the song, sing it and perform it.
Right.
But Henry Stone also believed in that. And so he was the one that had the records distributed. And also, it may appear like it was on different labels because overseas, that record became a hit overseas.
Oh, most definitely, yeah.
In other countries. So sometimes they had their labels that they would have put, the song on.
Right. So, Ring My Bell is like a classic in all different generations. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's amazing.
It is.
When you can actually take, because I used to play punk rock as a DJ. And when I heard Ring My Bell, it had a punk rock effect to it. You know what I'm saying? But it had a whole different effect. And the effect that it had on people was phenomenal.
It's amazing. And I think the thing that really got their attention was boom, boom. They loved that part. And that's what Frederick, he stayed around. He hung around in that studio. And he was adding on things. And that's one of the things that he did as well. And it got their attention, as you said. It really did.
Did you actually think that it would go as far as it did?
Oh, no, I certainly didn't. I can't believe the people. I remember one time I was on the show that was a big award show. Right. And just had everybody anyone was on that show. And I just remember tearing up and I said, my goodness, I never thought that I would be amongst this in performing. I tell you, it took me, I said, my God, this is amazing. Yeah, it was kind of frightening, but it was amazing.
Sometimes you have to step out in faith. And,
exactly.
That's the true thing about being a true artist. Actually, trying to actually create something to reinvent themselves to be somebody different, and making sure that even though they might not be feeling it, but the faith is saying, well, I just hope that there's some type of projection. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Well, Anita, we're going to take a slight break, and we'll be back with you. And this is T-Lo Video Productions, and we'll be right back with Anita Ward.
For the love of house,
the dynamic soul sounds of
for the love
DJ
of
Tyrone Lowe. DJ Tyrone Lowe. DJ Tyrone Lowe.
That's nice.
DJ Tyrone Lowe. The dynamic soul sounds of DJ Tyrone Lowe.
I guess
Fun people in the house tonight.
This is our house.
Hello, my name is Tyrone Lowe, and I'm back. This is my show, The Legends, and I have a true legend, and I bring to you Anita Ward. Hey, Anita.
Hey.
So let's talk about, current events. Well, one question I do want to ask you, through your craft, you did a lot of traveling, right?
Oh, yes. Oh, absolutely. Yes.
So can you tell me a memorable show that you had that you really, really loved the most? Because everybody has a favorite. And so, share that with the viewers.
Oh, well, probably, actually, when that record came out, my career was started with the Midnight Special. But of course, I did many TV shows as well as starting a tour.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was actually honored or blessed to be on the tour with the Gap Band.
Okay.
Oh, yes, the Gap Band. And also Ain't No Stopping Us Now, McFadden and Whitehead.
Whitehead, yes.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, I'm telling you, that I just love that song.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really something. So meeting again these entertainers,
Right.
I can't think of one specifically, but traveling overseas was really something because I did a lot of lip syncing, which I'm not crazy about. If you're really a singer, you don't care for that lip syncing stuff.
Right.
But that's what they did. Sometimes it made a better show for them to just don't worry about all that stuff. Let's just lip sync. And so that part I probably didn't like that much. But being able to be with different entertainers, that was really a very good thing. Yes.
So have you recorded anything after Ring My Bell?
Well, actually, I did. There was one song called Don't Drop My Love that they released, and they thought it was going to do something. It didn't do that much, unfortunately. And I did another album with Frederick Knight, but it just wasn't the fire and what we had once had. It seemed like, it just, things weren't the same. Sometimes when you become that big, that soon, that quickly, again, getting back to what you said earlier, is it something I wished had not happened? It's probably how quickly that came out. Because not only was I not ready, I think a lot of people weren't ready. I'm talking within my circle of people.
Right. As an artist, there's a lot of people out there that's just starting the craft of actually entertaining.
Yes.
And is there anything that you can say to actually encourage them and give them some good stipulations as far as what they should do and what they shouldn't do?
Okay, well, the first thing that an aspiring artist should do is to learn about the business. Definitely learn about the business of music. And also probably learn to be your own person. Don't follow. Sometimes when we're in high school or in grade school, we tend to be followers of people. And sometimes they're not the right people to be around. You should be the leader. Let others follow you, as opposed to you following others, because sometimes some artists, and some unfortunately who are not with us anymore, drugs, they think that drugs help them to perform. And I just don't agree with that, because sometimes, especially if you got some bad times, sometimes when nobody's ringing your bell as much, it might cause you to want to do something that you didn't really truly think about.
Right.
And so just if you just be the leader, let you be the leader and don't follow others. I think that's a good thing, and learning about the business also. Yes.
Okay. So what is Anita Ward doing these days?
Well, other than being at home too much during the pandemic.
Okay. And how has that been to you?
Well, actually, it's been okay. I've been able to, through the grace of God, to still take care of my bills, even though I wasn't working, because I had retired. Also, I knew when Ring My Bell wasn't big anymore, or my career wasn't big anymore, I, took other jobs. I was a school teacher. I had
Right.
originally started as a sub, and then I became a regular teacher. And then I also retired from 10 years of retail.
Okay.
And yes, so I actually learned how to, having a degree going to college. I think that it helps as well.
Right.
And so, just being an everyday normal person. That's what I've been doing. And however, last week I was performing in New Jersey
Right.
at this place in Long Branch, New Jersey.
Right.
A private party, and it was really, really nice. But I'm telling you, everything got bad after that. I'm so glad I made it. Just like the skin of my teeth. The flooding, my
Right.
God, everything was going. I said, my goodness, did I not get back home in time? And so when we were just talking earlier, that was one of my promoters calling, and he was telling me some things. So they're trying to get me back out there again. Rather than just being stagnated at home.
I think that'd be a wonderful thing.
Thank you so much.
And I love the fact that you have a very high spirit and you're very energetic.
Oh yes.
And your energy just flows. And most of all, I see that you're very grateful.
Oh, absolutely. I have been with some entertainers. Some of us, especially if you came through the disco time. People aren't, thinking that you're that talented or they don't want to be bothered with you. But I'm going to tell you, when they call me, I'm truly blessed because I could not be called. I could not be called at all. So I think it's always something that you should be grateful for. And especially if you love entertainment and like to entertain others. So, yes. Yeah, I'm grateful.
The records, radio stations are still playing your song.
Oh, yes.
Despite of the legacy of it, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think that you'd be able to reach those heights again?
As I said, I wouldn't want it to be as quickly as that happened before. I mean that. And that's not me being mad or angry or ungrateful about that. But it's just, I would be more prepared than what I was at that time, however.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe in consistency.
Okay.
And so if it got back, things got back going, but it was on a consistent basis where you maybe had a song that did very well, a couple of songs a year or something, that would be better. I think that would be much better. But I would just enjoy being able to entertain again. Okay.
Most of the songs that you did record, did you have any control over them, or the record company actually took its flow?
Well, at that time, I was a new artist. So when you're a new artist, you do as told. And I didn't know. There was one song that I co-wrote called You Lied with a friend of mine. So it's on the album.
Right.
But other than that, it wasn't a lot that I had control of. Which is okay, because now I have lived the songs that not only that I've sang, but that I will hope to sing in the future. And that gives you a different perspective. It gives you a much pretty, different perspective about it.
So if you took some of the songs that you have right now on the album and you actually did a rework on them, do you think it'll actually work for you right now?
Yes, I think it would. The only problem, I still love ballads. I would still. There was a song called If I Could Feel That Old Feeling Again. The audience really, really liked that song. And another one called Sweet Splendor.
Right.
A lot of people like that as well. Those could be reworked, and maybe not quite as much of a ballad, but up-tempo it, make it mid-tempo or something like that. I think that would be a nice, edge to it, something to add to it to make it different.
Anita, any shout outs to anyone?
Well, probably shout out to my daughter who's in New York. Okay, right now, Dominique Duarte is her name, and also to just to all the entertainers who, unfortunately, we had that punch to go on with. We had to stay at home and not do any shows. So a shout out to all the entertainers to let you know it's going to happen again. You just got to be safe. You just got to be safer.
Any new shows coming up that you want to leak to the viewers?
Well, I think, as I said, my one of my promoters called, and he had talked about a show in Ohio. I think it's going to be in October. That's
right.
Probably what he was calling about. But the way I heard my husband on the phone saying, "Oh, that's really great," so it must have been some other things that he said. So yes, I definitely intend to come back out to work. Quickly,
have you done any acting or been in any type of TV shows?
No, I haven't. Unfortunately, I've just kind of been a homebody.
And if you actually got the offer, would you go for it?
To act?
Yeah.
Of course. Now, when I actually auditioned for Godspell in college, that did lead to some bigger things, mind you. But I just remember my friends were saying, "Girl, come on, try." And I said, I'm not an actor. But that was then.
Okay.
But yeah, if they ask, I certainly would. I'd be honored. Yes.
Well, Anita, it's been an honor just to have you on my show.
Oh,
and I'm quite flattered with your story.
Okay.
Come again.
Oh, yes. Thank you. I sure will.
And thanks for ringing everybody's bell today.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay. And this has been another T. Lowe video production. This is my show, The Legends, with the legacy of Anita Ward. And stay tuned for another show. Thank you.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
Don't turn around. You ain't really down. Playing the games you do. Someday, everything will be alright. Different people make the world go round.
And it's all because of you, my dreams are coming true.
That erases my rainy day.
Right now, I don't care who's watching.
For whatever the reason there might be.
With your love by my side, the world will be mine. You're the one for me.
Yeah!
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.